Grand Rising, beautiful souls. It's Good Friday, and Good Friday is about forgiveness. So we're going to talk about forgiveness from many different perspectives. Forgiveness is a topic that a lot of people are not ready to hear, but whoever's ready to hear, hopefully you will receive my message. So let's tune in together. Take a deep breath. As you sit with a tall spine, relax your shoulders, quiet your mind, breathe into your belly, let it expand like a big balloon. Pause, exhale audibly through your mouth for twice as long. This morning when I was doing my yoga, a rainbow came out, a huge rainbow over the ocean. It was so beautiful. And I went outside and there was a sun shower. It only lasted for a few minutes and then it disappeared, but it's one of my favorite things, sun showers and rainbows. It was a gift for today, and today is a very special day. And I'm not religious, I'm spiritual. The difference is religion is man-made, spiritual is God-made. Spiritual is who we are. We're spiritual beings. So while I believe there are many beautiful aspects to every religion and many truths, I also believe that man has came in and tainted religion for man's own benefit. So there's some things I don't agree with. And Jesus wasn't a religious person. Jesus had no religion. Actually, Jesus was Jewish. But Jesus doesn't belong to Christians. Jesus is a being that came for everyone, for humanity. And this video is not about Jesus, although I wanted to share that I did, in 2010, I did a 40-week spiritual retreat called the St. Ignatius Retreat. And it was, what you did was you walked in Jesus's footsteps for 40 weeks. Mine was a little bit longer, but so you went through this whole, like his life for those 40 weeks through the crucifixion and the resurrection. And it was amazing. One of the most beautiful experiences that I ever had. And it brought me really closer to God and to Jesus and understanding what Jesus was all about. On one level. So we're going to talk about forgiveness, and we're going to talk about it from a human perspective and from a higher perspective, from a divine perspective. So from a human perspective, when you forgive someone, what you're doing is giving yourself the gift. You're healing yourself. Forgiveness, we think when we forgive someone, we're doing it for the other person, but it's not. It's for us, because most of the time, if you hold resentment or hurt towards someone else, they probably have no idea. And it's like you're the one holding that negative energy or that imbalanced energy of stuckness or stagnation or resentment or grudge. And it's being held in your body, your physical body. And then it shows up in different ways, like illness, disease, pain, imbalances in the physical body. That's how unforgiveness shows up. So when you forgive someone, it's for yourself, really. And just a little example that I know firsthand is back in early 2000s when I started on my spiritual journey. I was going through a time in my life where I couldn't forgive this person, and he hurt me so deeply, and I knew I had to. And to just summarize it, one day I was writing him a letter. And for me, writing was always a way of releasing my feelings, working through them, and then healing them and letting them go. It was a very cathartic process for me. And I learned that at an early age, at 11 years old, when I wrote my first really deep, meaningful letter to my mother, my adopted mother. And I remember my father he read it and he was like blown away. He was like, wow. I was only 11. And he looked at me, he's like, wow, whew, like he was speechless. And so I was writing this letter to my fiance, and who hit me and walked out on me and my daughter in the middle of the night and just was done. And yeah, so I had a lot of resentment. And as I was writing, it took me time, I don't know how long, maybe a couple hours of just writing and crying and processing my feelings. And when I was done, I remember it was like this whole journey. And as I was finished writing, I was like telling him that like I forgive him, and I really meant it. It wasn't just lip service. It's like I felt it in my body. And when I was done writing the letter, I felt so light and free. And then I remember like sitting up and then turning my head. And it was the first time in like a year that I didn't have any pain in my neck and I could move my head. And I couldn't believe it. I was like, wow, my neck doesn't hurt anymore. Like forgiving him made the pain in my neck go away. And that's what I'm talking about. Even though this is Physical Friday's video and I'm talking about forgiveness, it is directly linked to your health, to your well-being, to your vitality of your physical body. Because when you hold on to resentments and grudgements, it's a new word, grudgements, it's only hurting you, not the other person. The other person probably has no clue, literally, like that you're mad still or you're holding on. So that's forgiveness on a human level. Now we're going to go high now, so some of you might get it and you might not get it, but either way, I'm going to plant the seed. Forgiveness on a divine level doesn't exist. The word doesn't even exist. There's nothing to forgive because everything is just part of an experience. Because on a higher reality, everything just is. And our souls, before we came to this planet and incarnated, our souls each agreed to have these experiences with each other. And usually someone that has hurt you so deeply is a soulmate. And they've agreed to come to this planet and say, hey, guess what? When we go to the earth, I'm going to do this really bad thing. And the thing is, you're going to forget, right, that we agreed to sign up to do this thing. And you're going to forget and you're going to be really hurt and angry. But hopefully you're going to wake up and remember and forgive me because you wanted to experience what forgiveness is like at such a deep level, right? If you want to maybe understand a little bit better what I'm saying, I recommend this book. The Little Soul and the Sun by Neale Donald Walsch is it's a children's book, but it's for everybody because it's just such a short, powerful, you get it once you read this book. Neale Donald Walsch wrote Conversations with God. I've read all his books. They're amazing, every single one. Very enlightening and awakening, helps you to remember truth. It's like we're all suffering spiritual amnesia, and as you're reading these books, it just helps you to wake up, bing, wake up, bing, wake up. So forgiveness on a higher reality is there's nothing to forgive. So, okay, I'm going to give an analogy of movies. I think that's pretty easy to relate to for everybody. Did you ever watch a really good movie and get totally drawn in? Like you're emotionally attached, and you're emotionally and actually physically like pulled into this movie drama. And you're invested in this movie. You're like, no, like when things happen, you're like, why? Or there's like an ending that you didn't like. You're like, no, this isn't right. And so we forget, right? It's just a movie. Like, okay, hello, wake up, Soulfire. It's only a movie, Don't get upset. Don't get so emotionally involved and attached and invested in a movie. It's not real. And in a way, that's how our lives are in human form in third and fourth dimension here on the planet. It's like, in a way, it's a movie. Don't get so invested in the drama because we all agreed on some level to experience certain things with certain people, and to help us to experience maybe like forgiveness or compassion or mercy or whatever we wanted to experience in this lifetime. And all of us in a collective way, it's called consensus reality. We've all, on some subconscious level, agreed to experience this whole world together. So I don't know if that makes sense, but yeah, like sometimes in a movie, like you get mad. You're like, why is that person doing that? Or how can they do that? And like you're starting to like relate to the characters, and then the movie's over and you're like, okay, that was just a movie. Relax, let it go. And so on some level, this life is a movie. It's your movie. And however you want to experience your movie is up to you. So you can have a B movie, you can have an A movie, you can have a drama, you can have a horror movie, you can have whatever movie you decide. You are the creator of your life. And a lot of us have forgotten that basic truth that we are all creators or co-creators of our lives. And once you understand, and can accept that as truth, then you no longer can be a victim, and you can no longer blame everybody else in your life for everything that's happening. He left me, he did this, she did that, she hurt me, blah, blah. Okay, no, but you also are part of this creation on some level. And if the minute you can accept that truth and really take it in and believe it, you take back your power. You stop playing the victim role because you're owning it. You're like, okay, well, what part of me played a role in creating this drama, and what do I have to learn from it? How can I shift and change and improve my own self, my own being? What can I learn and take from this? So then I can maybe not experience the suffering again, right? Because we didn't come here to suffer. And yet on some level, we did in a way. That's the human part of our experience, because suffering, unfortunately, if you will accept it, is the greatest teacher. Pain can be the greatest teacher if you can accept it. But when you don't accept the pain and you keep projecting and blaming other people and holding on to the resentment and the grudgement, then you're just hurting your physical body. You're hurting yourself. But when we can accept it, heal from it, and learn from it, then we can grow and become better people. And I got this from my father who passed, and my adopted father. And I don't know, he sent me some email, and I remember the saying was, get better, not bitter. Be better, not bitter. Because bitter is only hurting you and your body. Better frees you. So I hope that was helpful. Also, what I wanted to share was, okay, so another perspective, and this term I got from Eckhart Tolle, A New Earth, his book A New Earth, but the pain body, which is such a brilliant term. It's like we're all walking around living and reacting from our pain bodies, meaning our unhealed trauma and unhealed deep-seated wounds. We're living from those. So it's like one pain body is bumping into another pain body, and we're just creating more conflict and pain with each other, right? But once one person starts to wake up and say, okay, I want to heal my pain body, I want to heal it for good, then on some level, you are also helping that other being on an energetic level, subconsciously. When you heal your own pain body, you're actually healing the collective, and you're creating new energetic pathways for others to follow. And so I wanted to give you that perspective, and that, just let the person off the cross, Like when we hold resentments and grudgements, that we're putting that person on the cross, on the crucifix, like Jesus. It's like, just let him down. Like, what we all want at the end of the day is to be forgiven, because we're not perfect, and we're all walking around in pain in some way. And if you can have compassion and mercy and understanding for that person, for ourselves, if you can have it for yourself, then you can have it for another being. But you cannot have it for another being until you have it for yourself. And that is the truth. And that's something that's important. I'm glad I stayed on. You can't give what you don't have. And until you have that compassion and mercy for yourself, until you can let yourself off the cross, you can't do it for another being. So I guess this message is about forgiveness for yourself, primarily, first and foremost, because your relationship with yourself is the most important. Let yourself off the cross. Wouldn't you want to let Jesus down? Or do you want to keep him up there and just be tortured and suffering? Because it's the same. We're one with Jesus, and his heart is your heart, and he's coming to you now. And he's telling you to take yourself down off the cross, okay? It's okay. You don't need to suffer anymore. You don't need to be angry at yourself. Stop. Let yourself off. Give yourself a break, okay? And once you could fully do that and fully, that's love. That's self-love when you can do that. That's loving yourself. And when you could do that for yourself, then you could do that for others. Just sit for a minute with this energy of Jesus, of his love, and he loves you so much. Forgive yourself. Take yourself off the cross. And then give that gift to others. And that's truly what's going to heal the world. I love you. The soul fire in me, I give to you. Aho. To learn more about my offerings, visit my website at igniteyoursoulfire.com. Please subscribe to my channel and comment below, my soul family. Thank you for being here on our precious planet Gaia at this time. Your light matters. You matter. You make a difference in the world by just being you. Ahuiho, until our hearts meet again. You are loved.